offering is the truth. Nothing more.
I want you to notice the power lines move inward and lower to the ground the further they move out of your view. The same way with a long corridor or hallway. And the same here with the street lamps. This is due to human perspective. And again here, notice how the railroad tracks merge into each other and then they eventually disappear and meet the sky at the horizon. And again here with the power lines, notice they move inward and downward until they eventually vanish out of your sight. As you can see from this point of view, the bottles are all lined up evenly. They're the same width apart and the same height. No fancy camera tricks here, just a phone camera. Now from this perspective, you can see that they all move inward and that they all get smaller in size towards the end of the table, and the table is flat. Now if the table were longer, these bottles would eventually disappear. That's called your vanishing point. Now the sun does the same thing. When you think you're seeing the sun set, you're only seeing the sun move out of your line of sight. That's called the law of perspective. As you can see here, the sun moves inward and gets smaller the further that it moves away from you. So the sun doesn't go over the horizon, it goes into the horizon, moving beyond the limit of our vision. As you can see here, the street lamps are smaller the further away they are from you, and larger the closer they get to you. That works the same way with the sunrise. As you can see here, how much bigger the sun gets the closer that it comes to you. Now technically the sun does not get larger, nor does it get smaller. It only appears to get larger and smaller as it moves in and out of your line of sight. Just as you've seen the power lines and the light poles do. The string is tied perfectly level across the counter, and the bottles are sitting level on the countertop. Now let's look at it from the same perspective. So as you can see, the sun doesn't set nor does it rise. It merely only goes out of your line of sight, moving beyond the vanishing point, just as someone walking away from you. Now for example, as you can see right here, the field goal is at ground level and the bleachers are at ground level, but the man seems to be walking over a curve or down into the ground. but he is merely only walking out of your line of sight. The further he gets away from you, the less you see of him and the smaller he gets. Now the closer he gets to you, you see more of him and he seems to get larger until he's right in front of you. Okay, now check this out. I have 2-inch wooden blocks, and I have measured and leveled these and lined them perfectly across the floor here. As you can see, they're all in perfect alignment and they're all level. Okay. Now let me get back down here to the very end, and I'm going to show you. See how they do the same thing that the power lines do? They stair step down and they come inward, even though they're all in a perfectly straight line and they're all the same size. Okay, now I've turned the lights out and I'm going to show you what the sun actually does. Now here it is up close. As you can see, it seems like it's what, according to the camera, a centimeter above the camera. Now watch as I move the flashlight down the white line of wooden chips. It seems to get smaller. It goes inward, and eventually it would disappear over the horizon, which is about right there. And that's exactly what you see when you see this, what you think the sun is setting behind a curved ball. Now here is the sunrise. Now watch as it comes back. It comes back into view. The floor is perfectly flat. It didn't go over a curved floor. Now the thing that sinks the global ship is called crepuscular sun rays. Now, as you can see here, the sun rays are coming out right here to the left at around a 7.2 degree angle. Now, right here in the middle, they're coming straight down. Now, when you get back over here to the right, they're coming back out at a 7.2 degree angle. Now, a little bit of calculation will show that a 7.2 degrees on each side coming up to a perfect triangle puts the sun at about 4,000 miles up into the sky. And all the ancients knew this. Now I'm going to prove that to you really, really quick. Here I have a piece of cardboard that I have cut the edges out perfectly on the edge of this cardboard. Now, over here we have a flashlight, which we're going to use as our sun source. Now, let's go over here and turn the light out. Notice that the shadow of the edges of the cardboard are parallel with each other. That would be 93 million miles away. They'd all be parallel with each other. Now, let's watch what happens to the shadows of these edges when I move them in close to the light source. Now, about right here is a 7.2 degree angle. Now, if you don't understand this, apparently you failed science and physics. This right here proves that the sun is only about 4,000 miles up in the air. That's the only possible way to get crepuscular sun rays. And like I said, the ancient Egyptians knew this for thousands of years. They even depict it in their artwork, and it's hidden right there in your face every day. So, as you learned earlier, the sun does not go over the horizon. It goes into the horizon, moving beyond the limit of our vision with our normal eyes. But if you take a telescope or a good camera and zoom in on the sun as you think it's setting over the horizon, you can see right here, it'll pop right back up into the sky because your eyes can't see that far away. It looks like it's setting over the horizon, going over the horizon, but it's not. It's just going so far away you can't see it anymore with the naked eye. But as you see right here, with a telescope or a good zoom lens camera, it pops right back up into the sky, proving that it doesn't go over a curved ball. And that is the law of perspective. Everyone, thanks for watching. Have a good night and God bless.
All I'm offering is the truth. Nothing more.